Okay, here's the deal. Narcissists do not have relationships. They only take prisoners. And I know that you might think that you were in a relationship with a narcissist or that you are in a relationship with a narcissist and maybe they'll get better. But the reality is they won't. The relationship won't get better and you need to get away. But I'm going to spend the rest of this video explaining and trying to prove to you why this relationship will never work for you. I honestly feel like this all goes back to mythology, where if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you think that just a little bit more love, or if you could give a little bit more, it would finally make them happy. So in mythology, Narcissus is basically doomed to a life of no human love, and they end up looking at themselves in a pond, and their reflection is one in which they fall in love with. So they just spend the eternity looking at themselves, waiting for some kind of a response, which of course never happens. That story is absolutely horrible. It's pathetic. And I think that we feel that sorrow and we think that if we can just give that other person in our lives a little bit more, just a little bit more of ourselves, that they're finally going to respond and everything's going to be okay, and that we will have broken the curse. Here's a reality. Unlike mythology, a real narcissist does not like themselves at all. And although they might spend a lot of time in the mirror, they're not looking for love. They're looking for ways that they can cover up how much they dislike themselves. So what they do is they do a lot of self-flattery. They are often a perfectionist. They are very critical, very judgmental. They're always pointing the finger at other people and trying to push other people down. They like to make fun of other people and mock other people quite a bit. If they're religious, they might have a holier than thou attitude. In any way, shape, or form, you always feel like you never can measure up to the narcissist. And that's because in their eyes, you can't. They love to project their pain. Now, I know all of this might sound like, oh, I don't want them to suffer. And I get it. You don't want them to suffer, but it's not your place to cure them, and because they can't get cured. In fact, what they're really doing inside is being very critical of themselves, more so than you or I might be on a bad day. They are really self-critical, but even worse, they're externally critical, they're externally judgmental, and they like to project that pain onto you. Narcissism, like everything else, can go from mild to severe, and depending on where they are on that spectrum, you will feel more and more of that dysfunction. But mark my words, even mild, it's going to be dysfunction. In the most severe cases, it's pathological and deadly. If I bring up a mild narcissist, it's no walk in the park. You are still in a very dysfunctional relationship. But is it really a relationship? Like I said earlier, are you truly in a relationship? Because they feed off of the energy of other people. Narcissists tend to have skills that are incredible. And when I say incredible, I mean kind of psychotic. So they can turn on the charm, they can turn on the achievement and the glow factor very quickly. And it's very easy for a lot of people to fall under their spell. So you might fall into infatuation or even fall in love, what you think is love, very, very quickly. The narcissist is excellent at getting the attention of others and to get others to do what they need. Now, not every narcissist is very grandiose, and I've talked about this before, where covert narcissists are a lot like an injured kitten. They have this way of making you want to take care of them or making you feel like you feel sorry for them. But either way, it's still your energy. They don't care how they get it, whether it's basking in their glow or taking care of them. A narcissist is very diabolical. The narcissist who's more covert is going to be really clingy, and they're going to be really pathetic, and they're going to make you feel really bad, but they're going to turn on you. No matter what you do for them, it will never seem like it's enough. Same with the more grandiose narcissist. And I should also mention that one narcissist can go back and forth between grandiose and covert at any time. So sometimes they're the life of the party or the life of the church, or there's someone who is very injured and needs your attention or needs you to run errands for them or pay their bills. They go back and forth all of the time. It's not unusual, and it's going to make you feel like you can never keep up. So not only are you on a hamster wheel, but you never know which way you should be running. Now, here's where it's very uncomfortable. You never were in a relationship with a narcissist in a way that people who are very equal and balanced are in relationships. When you see a couple falling in love and they spend years together and it's a growing relationship, that's love. But when you're with a narcissist, it doesn't matter how many years go by, it's never a relationship. They are just attaching to you to get your energy. So what they do is they project the pain onto you, and anything that you experience, both the highs and the lows, they just take as their own because they don't have a whole lot inside of them. In a normal relationship, a relationship has ups and downs. And as you get out of the infatuation stage, where both people have infatuation with each other, and you're going to think that early on because they love bomb you, and I have another video on that, links are below. But the bottom line is, when you evolve in a normal, healthy, functional relationship, there's ups and downs, and there's relationship discussions. There are times in the relationship where there might be friction or some kind of negativity or conflict, but you work it out together by both of you diving deep into yourselves and being open and vulnerable with the other person. With a narcissist, that's not possible. Anytime you point out something in the relationship that you're not happy about, they're going to take that as a very deadly criticism. They're going to shut it down. They're going to either ghost you, which means they're going to ignore you totally, or they're going to turn it around like it's your fault. In any way, shape, or form, they're going to deny that there's a problem. And there can be a lot of times where you are feeling like your world's falling apart, you're completely not happy, your needs aren't being met. But guess what? The narcissist is going to say,
everything's fine. There's nothing wrong. You're just too sensitive. You're this, you're that.
And it's going to start to make you feel like you're absolutely going crazy because how could you be this unhappy when they're fine? And really what it is they don't care if you're happy or not. They're just feeding off of your energy. You are a prisoner to them, and you are nothing more than a source of energy. It has nothing to do with them loving you. And they use the word love and they throw it around very quickly, usually, and very haphazardly. They don't mean it. And it's going to hurt you very much when you start to realize that they never loved you at all. When you are with a narcissist, you will start to realize after time, if you spend any amount of time with them, that they thrive off of you protecting them, appeasing them, pacifying them. You'll want to fix them. You'll want to help them a lot. Even if they're grandiose, they're very big into you basking in their glory. So anytime they do anything, they want you to know. Say they clean the kitchen, but you do it all of the time. They will make a big deal out of, did you see that I cleaned the kitchen? And you're going to be thinking, well, I clean the kitchen all of the time. I don't really need a cookie for that or a pat on the head, but they do. And they will constantly do that. And if you don't turn around and say, oh my gosh, the kitchen's so clean, it's never been cleaner before, or really praise them in some way, this is even in the day-to-day, they will make it like you don't appreciate them, or they will attack you for not being clean enough, or a million other things. Now, I know that I'm kind of going off topic here with some examples, but you see what I'm getting at. And for those of you who have been with a narcissist, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, this probably sounds absolutely crazy. But this is the reality of what it's like to be with a narcissist. The one thing that you're going to start to feel if you're with a narcissist is a form of emotional abandonment. You never can get what you need from them, and they're always taking from you. So the more you become empty and the more you give to them, whether it's helping them or basking in their glow and supporting them, you're always going to feel some level of abandonment because you're never getting what you need. It's not an equal relationship. In fact, it's not a relationship at all. It's called a relationship, but it's a dysfunctional relationship to the highest standard, or should I say the lowest standard. You will eventually have lower self-esteem, you'll have more self-doubt, you might even have health issues. You will probably lose quite a bit of money, and it might not be your money, but it might be collective, because narcissists are very impulsive. Even when they're wealthy, they tend to be more impulsive. So you will feel like there's never any stability in any area of your relationship. Interestingly, narcissists are the most codependent people. And it's funny because a lot of people who are with a narcissist will tell me, oh, I'm so codependent, that's why I'm with a narcissist. No, not at all. You might be emotionally abandoned or maybe a little bit of codependency, but it is the narcissist that is codependent. The narcissist will do anything in their power to keep you, not because they love you, because they want to use you. Now, you being okay with that doesn't necessarily make you codependent. It means you're emotionally abandoned and you're looking to be saved. And every time you trust them, every single time you trust them, your self-esteem dips lower and lower. And they count on that because the lower you go, the more you're putting a line in the sand that says, okay, emotionally beat me up some more. And they do. They follow through with exactly what you're offering, which is to honestly take advantage of you as the prisoner, as an emotional prisoner. And this is why, if you are with a narcissist right now, I really don't want you to stay with them. And you might have to gray rock, which basically means you cut down on the emotion that you're giving them. Because remember, any emotion at all, happiness, sadness, anger, all of it is feeding them. So the only way to starve the narcissist supply is to go gray rock and not give them bursts of happiness or sadness or anger or anything. Keep it very, very low key, very monotone. Really want to think of it as you are literally a gray rock, showing no big emotion at all. And they will start to try to do anything in their power because they're so codependent and they're so empty. They will do anything in their power to get you to react. If you stay gray rock long enough, they will start to go elsewhere for their source. Now, this is where you're going to feel even more emotionally abandoned because you're already not getting what you want. And now I'm asking you to gray rock. Then I'm telling you, guess what? Now that you're gray rock, they're going to start going somewhere else, potentially to another person who they probably have already been talking to. You're going to feel like, why would I do this? Because you're so raw and emotionally abandoned. But as you gray rock, as you work on yourself, you're going to start to feel much more empowered. Now, what some people do, men or women, when they start to gray rock and they feel more empowered, they use that as a game to get the narcissist back because they love the feeling, because they're emotionally abandoned, of the narcissist coming back to them. And when the narcissist runs back to them, it fills up that emotional abandonment. So I don't want you to do that because what you're doing now is just teaching yourself how to play with your own emotions, and it's very, very dysfunctional. That's a whole nother video. But for right now, I just want you to know that relationships with a narcissist are really not relationships. Relationships with a narcissist are prisoner situations, and you are the prisoner. But you are the only one that holds the key to escape. The narcissist has next to no standards. They will be with anyone who feeds their ego. And this is why often I have seen many women in the therapy room that cannot believe that their partner cheated on them with this low, bottom of the barrel type of woman. And it's because it's not about the woman being great and amazing. It's just about the person who feeds their ego. And you deserve so much more. You deserve someone who is going to treat you well, treat you with respect, and that you can feel a sense of closeness and intimacy. Because once we've been in trauma and once we've had that much pain, it's very hard to turn around and just suddenly be in a functional relationship. You're going to be carrying some baggage from that relationship. Again, that's another video, but I want you to comment below, have you been in this situation? Have you felt like you were in a prison with a narcissist, and how did you get out, or are you still there? I also want to mention, this does not have to be just a romantic partner. This can be with a parent, this could be with a sibling, friendships, even in a work environment. So go ahead, comment below, please like and subscribe. And if you're interested in this kind of content on a more intimate level, hop over to my website, information is below, where I send out a weekly email, kind of like a love memo. Okay, another video for you.